Hi everyone, welcome to this 15-minute full body stretch. Today we're going to start at the feet. So for our first stretch, come onto the knees. You can always pad up your knees with a blanket if you wish. Tuck your toes. Make sure all 10 toes are on the mat, so you might need to flick out your little toe. And then you're going to rest back onto your heels. So we're going to be deeply stretching into the feet, which is going to help us when we move up through the body. So see if you can relax your upper body here. And if you need to bring your hands down at any point just to take away some intensity, you are absolutely allowed to. Otherwise, see if you can sit with it. So resting back onto those heels and just start to soften into your breath. So just noticing how you're breathing today. Breathing in and out of the nose. So a lovely calming breath is going to help us get deeper into the stretches today. You might find your feet start to get a little bit warmer. And we're going to do a little bit for our shoulders here. So as you inhale, reach your hands high up overhead. See if you can lift on out of the waist. Interlace your fingers and then bring them to the back of your head. Let your elbows drop to the side. Take a huge breath in and look up. And then as you exhale, just allow the weight of your head to drop into your hands. Elbows drop to the sides. Feel that nice opening across the front of the chest. Breathing it here. See if you can relax your head back into those hands. Wonderful. Take a nice big breath. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand down. You're going to stretch your left hand across. So you're coming into this little side stretch. Good. See if you can really open out through that waist. Perfect. Let's do the opposite side. So inhale up through center. Exhale, bringing the other hand down, taking it on over. How are those feet doing at this point? Good. Nice full breath. Wonderful. As you inhale, come on up through center. We're going to bring our hands out in front now and then untuck the toes. Give them a little tap out if they need. You can take a little roll out through the ankles. Cool. We're going to stretch the top of the foot, top of the ankle now. So untuck your toes, rest onto the tops of the feet. Now for some of us, this might be enough of a stretch just here, or bring your hands behind and you can lift your knees up just to feel that nice stretch through the top of the foot and the top of the ankle. Lovely. Relaxing that upper body still, so we want to kind of intensify in that lower half. Wonderful. Let's take one more breath wherever you are. And as you exhale, gently release and come to an all fours position. Perfect. Let's come down onto our forearms just to give our wrists a little break. And you're going to extend your right leg back in space. So pushing through that heel, take a little rock forwards and back, forwards and back. So now we're getting into our calf muscle and our Achilles a little bit. So you might need to kind of find your own intensity here. So for some of us, rocking forwards and back feels good. Maybe just pressing back into that heel with a nice straight leg is where you need to be. Lovely. And then let's switch it over. So bringing that right knee in, extending the opposite leg out, pushing through that heel. So the key is to keep the leg really straight. Wonderful. Maybe little rocks forwards and back if you want to tease into that calf a little bit. Good. Nice. So make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders now. Keep that leg straight, and then you're going to bring the right leg to meet the left, pushing through those heels, coming into a little forearm plank. So for your core, really kind of lift up here. Breathing in. Slow exhales. Relax through the face, through the jaw. Wonderful. Breath in. And as you exhale, drop the knees, untuck the toes, and then lower your pelvis down. So we're in this little back bend. So you should feel a little bit of a stretch in your top two abdominals. Slightly dragging the hands back towards you to feel that nice opening through the front of the chest. Perfect. Options to stay up onto the forearms, or if it's too much on your lower back, you can bring your head down. We're going to bring our right leg out to the side at 90 degrees. So the ankle is in line with the knee and then the knee in line with the hip, like a little kind of right angle shape. So option to keep the head down and just focus on that groin stretch. Otherwise, you can come up onto your forearms. And if you want even more, you can turn your hands out, begin to straighten up the arms, getting into the groin and A little bit into the front side as well. It's quite a back bend. But you never want to feel any pain in any of these stretches. It might be uncomfortable, but we definitely don't want to feel pain. So see if you can just differentiate that. Wonderful. Breath in. And as you exhale, come on down. Good. Stretch that leg all the way out. And let's do the opposite side. So bringing the opposite leg out, 90 degrees, almost like a little frog's leg. So you can stay down here. Maybe on this side you need to do that. Maybe it's a forearm. Maybe it's the turn out of the hands and a little straighten of the arms. We don't want to strain in the arms. You just want to straighten them up just so you can kind of prop up that front body. Good. Imagine your pelvis sinking down into the mat, opening up through that inner thigh. Perfect. Breath in. And as you exhale, come on down to forearms and then slide in that leg all the way back. Perfect. Hands underneath your shoulders now. Bring your big toes together and push back to a child's pose for just a couple of breaths. So settle your sit bones to your heels. Bring your forehead to the mat and stretch your fingertips out in front. Take a couple of really big, deep breaths here. So that's just going to be a nice counter pose to those back bends that we've just done. Wonderful. As you inhale, come on forwards to your all fours now. Tuck your toes and we're going to lift up into a downward facing dog. So sending those sit bones back and up here. So take a little pedal through, a little walk out of the feet. So you really want to kind of take a nice big stretch down the back of the leg. So now we've warmed up our feet and our calves, we can work into our hamstrings at the back of the thigh. Lovely. So take a little pedal out. And then find a few moments of stillness. So your feet are hip width apart. Turn your big toes ever so slightly inwards, pressing down through those heels, but simultaneously lifting up through your tailbone. So imagine someone's lovingly pulling your tailbone up towards the sky as you're pressing down through those heels. Head is nice and relaxed, and spread your fingers nice and wide so you can protect those wrists. Perfect. From here, with straight legs or bent, yogi's choice, begin to tiptoe the feet towards the hands in as many little steps as you need. And just take a nice easy forward fold at the top. So the feet are about hip width apart. Let the head drop down. You can grab opposite elbows if you wish, or just let them dangle. You really want to loosen up through the shoulders and neck here. So just let gravity kind of pull you. Awesome. And then soften through the knees and slowly begin to roll up through the spine. One little vertebrae at a time, stacking the spine until your head places on top. Perfect. Nice. So keep your feet about hip width apart. We'll start with our right leg. Bring the hands to the hips. You're going to bring your right knee in towards the chest and then begin to make just a couple of circles here. So let's do 3 circles. See how much movement you can get through the hip. Also tests our balance on that standing leg. Wonderful. Good. And then we're going to go for a quad stretch. So we're going to bring that right heel in towards the glutes and then slightly squeeze your bum cheek. So you're pushing your right hip forward and you're going to feel that nice intense stretch through your quad. So just be mindful of the knee here. You definitely want to be feeling it in the quad and not through the knee. Those knees don't need a stretch. Lovely. Take a breath. And as you exhale, release. Give that leg a shake if it needs. Let's do the opposite side. So hands to hips, big circles, as big as you can manage. Also testing your balance. So really feel that big ball and socket joint in your pelvis. Get a little bit of movement. Wonderful. And then let's go for that quad stretch. So grabbing hold of the top of the foot, heel towards the bum, and then pushing the pelvis forwards by squeezing the glute here. Nice. See if you can direct your breath down to the front of that thigh. Perfect. Breath in. And as you exhale, release. Give those legs a bit of a shake out. Perfect. Bring your feet as wide as your mat, big toes pointing out. Take a breath in to stand tall. And then as you exhale, bend into the knees nice and slowly. We're going to come down into a deep squat. So don't worry if your heels are off the mat. You can always pop a blanket or something to support you there. Otherwise, hands can be on the floor, or hands can come to your heart, and see if you can prise open your hips just that little bit more. Should feel a nice release on your lower back here. Perfect. Bringing your hands behind now. Let's lengthen out the legs in front. Give them a little bit of a shake out. Perfect. We're going to hug our right knee in, and you're going to grab the foot or the knee like this and just begin to make a little kind of swishy side to side. Or you can kind of cradle it like a little baby and go for this. So you want to find the stretch that works for you. So maybe pulling the leg over, you get it through the outer hip. Maybe for some of us, we need to do a little bit of this to get into the groin. So you kind of find your little sticking point in those hips. Perfect. Good. And then you're going to bring the ankle across your left knee, like so. Keep the foot flexed, knee drops to the side, hands behind, and then place your left foot onto the mat. Puff up your chest, and you should feel a nice big stretch into that right hip, right glute. If you want more, you can intensify by shimmying the sitting bones closer to that heel. If you start to do this, you start to lose the stretch. So I would recommend finding a nice proud chest, looking up, and you see how that really intensifies it. Relax through the face. And have this idea that your right knee is just dropping forwards as you release tension. Wonderful. Breathe in. And as you exhale, you can slide your bum back or slide the foot away from you. You're going to bring this foot onto the outside of your left knee, so it's planted on the floor. Sit tall, reach up. And then as you exhale, you're going to twist into that right knee. So you're going to hook your left elbow across, looking behind. And this is going to ring out through your middle spine here. So draw your belly button in and see how that makes you twist a little more. Chin is parallel with the floor. So if you're looking down, it's a little bit more strain on the upper back. So chin is parallel. Breathe in. And as you exhale, come back through center. Let's do it all on the opposite side. So hugging that left knee in. Start with this little bit of a regular movement. If you can cradle it like a little baby, great. Otherwise, just kind of move, maybe circles. Really listen in to what this side needs. So different sides need different things. So don't feel like you need to do exactly the same as what you did on the other side. Perfect. Nice one. And then we're going to bring that foot over. Keep the foot flexed. It's going to look after your knee. Hands behind. Right foot on the floor. Proud chest. Holding here or shimmying the sitting bones forwards or back. If you go too far, don't feel like you need to stay in it. You can always take away intensity. Calming breath. Proud chest. And really notice where you feel the stretch. So see if you can imagine your breath go into that tight spot. And as you exhale, allowing the tension to wash away. Wonderful. One more breath here. And as you exhale, release. You're going to bring this sole of foot down onto the mat. Sit tall, reach up. Twisting to the opposite side, looking over that left shoulder, wringing out through the spine. So really pull your belly button back towards your spine, and you can twist just that little bit more. Good. Breath in. And as you exhale, unwind, come to face forwards, lengthen out both legs, flex your feet back towards you, big breath in, sit tall. And then as you exhale, forward fold. So you want to hinge from the hip. Maybe you grab the knee, maybe you grab the toes. You can always use a strap here if you want, wrapping around the balls of the feet. But see if you can focus on the core doing the work. So as you draw your belly in, you'll find that a nice strong core is going to help open up the back of the legs. Relax the neck and shoulders. Wonderful. One more breath. Exhale. Good. As you inhale, walking your hands back towards you, bring your hands behind and bend your knees. And then as you inhale, press your hips into the sky. See if you can get your hips in line with your knees, almost like you're a little table. Imagine you're balancing like a tray of drinks. You don't want to spill them. Nice release for the lower back and an opening through the shoulder. Breath in. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly come on down. Take a comfortable seat. And just take a moment to notice how that felt within your body today. I really hope you enjoyed this little 15-minute stretch with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.